Good morning and welcome. I'm doing an update from last week. Obviously, it's the first week of my cycle instead of the last, so I'm doing a lot better. Um, I had a lot of bloating and fatigue last week with my cycle. I'm going through menopause, so I didn't actually have a period, but I still have a cycle. And it was kind of weird because, like, my weight went 5 pounds up and my pants were really tight, and then it went back down, but my pants were still really tight, and then that went down. So that's a good thing, and I'm feeling better. I got another job that I started last week, and it's physical, where I'm constantly lifting metal and heavy stuff. So I'm getting a good amount of physical activity, but I'm not lifting my own body weight or doing anything acrobatic. I'm doing normal human movements. So it's a lot less stressful on my body. Um, I watched some videos with Mindy Peltz. She is more into the low carb keto community, and so I don't fully follow her, but she also does talk a lot about intermittent fasting. And I have been doing one meal a day, and unfortunately, one of the things that might have took me down was I started doing one meal a day on the last week of my cycle at the same time that I had started a very physical job. And the reason I went to one meal a day while I was doing the physical job was because it was so physical that it was hard to work on a full stomach. So I'm still doing the one meal a day, but I'm going to take her advice. And on the last week of my cycle, I'm going to do 2 meals or 3 meals a day, depending on how hungry I am. And she suggests increasing carbs that last week, but that's not going to happen with me. So I'm going to increase my fat intake as well as my eating on my last week of my cycle. So hopefully that will make things different. Plus, the job that I have, I will be adjusted to, and this job is way, way better. Um, so that's my plan. And then I want to give a shout out to Aaliyah Wells. I was thinking about doing the lion diet, but she suggested BBB and E, which is Dr. Barry's invention. Um, I did see that he had said that if he could do it all over again, he would add fish to it. And also, I'm basically cutting out chicken and pork from what I was already eating, as well as I think shrimp. And so I'm replacing it. I'm changing it up. I created, instead of BBB and E, I'm doing R, B, B, E, and F. So that R is in place of the B for ruminant animals. So I tried lamb for the first time. I absolutely loved it. And I'm going to have bison and beef in place of the first B. Then the bacon, butter, eggs, and fish. Now I have to have fish in my diet. Where I live, there was a couple months where I was a little tan, but the past 3 weeks we had nothing but rain, and when it's not raining, it's really dark and cloudy. There's a picture of what the sky looks like. And so with that, um, I'm not getting the vitamin D I need. So I'm eating sardines, salmon, mackerel. I do have some tilapia, which probably isn't as healthy as the other fish, just because I really like that. But I'm gonna add butter when I do eat that. But I do need the fish for vitamin D because I'm not getting it from the sun. I've lost my tan in the past 3 weeks. One, because I've been working so much, so I haven't been outdoors as much, and two, it's been raining a lot. And then this past week at my new job, they have a picnic table outside, and so I've been spending about 45 minutes a day on my breaks outside, but there's no sun. It's all clouds. Um, as far as my new job goes, I like my boss. He's a really good manager. I have a really good lead. They're all good people. But when I was working previously, my low paying job that I had, I was working at a plastics factory, and it was very slow paced. It was extremely boring. I mean, it was like boring, boring. And they wouldn't let us listen to music, and we couldn't even dance. Like, I started dancing one time. I was just being silly, and this lady was like, "You can't do that. there's cameras over there. If they catch you dancing, they'll fire you. They fired somebody for dancing before. And I was like, seriously? So that was a giant red flag. But where I'm at now, they let us listen to one earbud at our workstations in our ear, and my lead was actually dancing and beat bopping around, and I was like, yes, I am in the right place. So that makes me very happy. Um, I made a work friend. Shout out to Cody. She wants to follow me. She has recently had a baby a few months ago. She's got 3 kids, and she was asking me questions about keto and carnivore, and I was giving her information, and she says, "See, this is why I need to follow your channel." And I'm thinking, and I was honest with her. I said, "Well, this stuff's not on my channel. Um, I'm basically just, documenting my carnivore journey, and then I also have some workouts and walks and stuff." And she made me realize that I have information. Maybe I should start sharing links to some of this information, as well as sharing some of that information. So going forward, some of my episodes will be more informative about what the carnivore diet is, the health benefits, and different problems different people have, to help people who are joining carnivore. Because my whole thing was, I was thinking, oh, I'm just documenting my journey, but then I'm like, oh, people are actually asking me questions and they want to know and they're curious. So I'm going to have to step up my game and start answering. And in that, I was originally going to enroll for fitness trainer certification so that I could be certified when I do my videos and be better able to help people with that. Although at this current point in time, I am in the boonies and the nearest hospital is 45 minutes away. And it's a small one. It looks like a doctor's office. I didn't realize it was a hospital. So in order to get a fitness certification and even enroll, I have to get certified in CPR, and I think it's called EAD, to use the little electric paddles, in order to be able to do that. So I'm going to hold off on that for a little while, because I'm actually going to be moving to Three Rivers, which is where I work, and there's a hospital out there. So everything will be like right in the area that I need it to be. But for the time being, I'm actually going to go to school for a nutritionist first, because they say 80% of weight loss is your diet. And I want to learn as much as possible that I can before I go into the fitness. So one step at a time. I will say that it's really weird, because what some of the current nutritionists say is old school. And in learning, I did learn about keto. They do not demonize it or say that it's harmful. They say that it's good for people who are epileptic, that have seizures. It's good for people who are diabetic and people who are obese. So it doesn't say that it's for everybody, but it does acknowledge that that diet is helpful for a certain group of people, which I like. And then I read about cholesterol, which is hilarious, because it basically, it says it's not as, and they use the word problematic. It says it's not as problematic as once was thought. And then they go into, however, we still suggest a low cholesterol diet. So even though the studies are showing that high cholesterol is not harmful for you, they're still pushing the low cholesterol agenda. I am, I am learning some things, and I think that we are making progress in the health area, hopefully. I want to give a shout out to Ken Berry, because I was on Facebook this yesterday, and he called out the ADA, the American Diabetes Association. He called them out right on their page, and he told them that they were in bed with big pharma and big food. And I was like, hell yes, I love this man. He is a badass. So I'm hoping, because I mean, I only have like 27 followers. Um, I'm hoping in the future to be able to meet him, and if I get to a point where I'm knowledgeable enough, I wouldn't mind working for that man. I would have to ask him, what do I have to, Ken Berry, if you ever watch this even in the future, what do I have to do to work for you? Because you are a badass and I love it. That aside, let's see. The last thing I want to cover is my weight. So, I titled this video, Throw the Scale Out the Motherfucking Window. I gained 2 pounds in the past 2 weeks, and I'm not even upset about it. And this is why. So, my goal was to have my size 18s baggy, and my size 18s are baggy. I was wearing size 18s comfortable at 215. And then I had my PMS episode and I was wearing 18s tight at 215. Now I'm 217 and my 18s are loose. So I am making progress. That is called body recomposition. So I am obviously gaining more muscle and getting thinner, but I haven't lost. So I'm not really worried about the scale. It's not an issue. So anybody that doesn't see your scale moving in the way that you want, don't always worry about it. Use a tape measure or your pant size and go that way. My pants are getting baggy. I had to buy new underwear because they were going up to, my boob area. And then I had to buy new bras because my boobs are shrinking. And it's not comfortable when you're moving around and your stuff starts falling out because it's too big. So buying smaller clothes does feel good. So I consider that a win. I consider it a success. Throw the scale out the window. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.